out of the Leona as well. I think that if Team Wales wish to execute the game that way, then they have the tools to do so, as we are onto the Rift for game number 2. Team Wales are 1 game down. If they fall here, obviously, that will put them on even match footing with SBTC, which could mean a lot as we get later on into the split, of course. And evening up the tiebreaker as well, the head-to-head, could be huge if SBTC close out the rest of the split strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Team Wales, I'm a little bit worried because I think this draft is winning if they execute properly. But in general, VCS teams, especially the mid-tier teams, they never really show to be absolutely clean. And I think in this mid-game team fight, if there's a good Mega now, it doesn't even really need to be ahead of the Jax. Also, Wukong still being very strong at this point of the game. There's just so much SBTC can do in a straight-up 5v5. And even with the Featherstorm from the side of Vid, it's not that easy to really play against it. And here we see something interesting. DNK starting with the blue side red buff. Yeah. Just pathing to the Gnar versus Jax lane. So maybe there's a surprise coming for Nagia in a few minutes.
Well, it's not really much of a surprise though, because we see a ward on blue buff, Quincy, that Team Wales are fully aware of what SBTC are up to. And if Nagia can play respectfully enough, then obviously if he's able to bounce a wave off the tower before DNK can make his way up there, then there should be no cause for concern.
Absolutely. And here we see level 1 control by the side of SBTC's bot lane. And the Xayah, no, on the Kai'Sa Rakan lane. Kind of the cheater one, as Palace really going for this route here. But the wave being pushed in and Vid being able to get this level 2 right now means, of course, ultimately nothing really happening in the bigger picture. And you addressed it, right? The jungle pathing should be obvious to the side of Team Wales. Let's see if Nagia will respect it in a bit more than a minute. Right now, he doesn't really show much respect to Emperor. Absolutely just bonking onto his head. And Killer Queen would be here for potential dive. Yeah, he sees him coming, but maybe seeing him coming is not enough.
Well, there is the ward only now spotting Killer Queen out there. Drops the ward. DNK can try and come in. Flashes over the Vault Breaker. First Blood will be secured for Nagia, but now DNK is on the chase. Killer Queen is waiting for the cooldown to come back on the Vault Breaker. DNK still on the chase. Will be able to get away with a final Vault Breaker. First Blood goes across to Nagia. TP is available for both. At the end of the day, it is a slight plus for the side of Team Wales. It is going to take a little bit longer.
Would agree. Just for slot bonus for them. Also a bit of the wave probably being missed out of CVC. The replay again here. Wallpaper comes out. Good flash by the side of Emperor, but of course the leaps Jack is targeted. He can't really outplay that one very much. Maybe flashing south would ultimately result in Wallpaper just taking absolutely nobody there with them. And then it's just being 0 for 0. But 1 for 1 still fine for them in the bigger picture. I think Wales being a slight winner of this exchange, as of course Nagia on the Jax being ahead with his first blood bonus, and also a carry laner that can definitely make something out of it. And Glory is absolutely harassing the crap out of DR1 there.
Good to see him punishing in the range versus melee matchup. Has a slight CS advantage. Obviously, DR1 does still have a TP available. He's going to try and get this wave out from under his tower just a little bit before he takes that reset. You see Killer Queen is sneaking in towards the bot side jungle of SBTC here, maybe looking for a dive towards bot side. We do see that Vit and B do have the push.
Yeah, they have the push, and Killer Queen is up on those Quacks right now. So far they are not really showing their hands with them, just corralling a bit back towards this river area. Maybe they just don't want to play it out as a dive and also just want to bait the bot lane from SBTC Esports in to just follow the lane a little bit more, so it's easier to play it without the turret being in mind. But right now, bot lane still remaining even. The mid lane CS difference is making me a bit worried for DR1. He just now finally starts to base here, but he will probably lose a bit of that wave here, as he has to use his TP to make up for that difference and not lose too much in this exchange.
We'll be able to TP back in. I think he will arrive just before the first minion gets taken down by the tower, so he does not lose anything on that play. But of course, having to use the TP in what is potentially a suboptimal scenario. Glory also doesn't necessarily have to use his own TP to get back to lane here. Can just walk in. Is going to use it anyway. Just make sure he can continue the pressure, continue trying to put DR1 down.
And Enpa is not looking in a very favorable position right now. You see, he just uses a boomerang from max range to really get any CS down, because just in a long lane, he can't really fight the Jax. The Jax would absolutely run him down, despite the hop being available for the Nara, the boomerang being able to create a slow against the Jax. It's still something that he doesn't really want any business with. But here, the bait is coming through. 3 members, and Nagia, he might just walk out, but if he walks on this path,
he's
dangerous.
in. He's looking to go for her back. He does have his flash. He's going to have to use it. He's able to get out in a very nice fashion. Meanwhile, towards the bottom side, Killer Queen, with a little bit of help from his friends, aka B, will be able to pick up the first Drake of the game. So, flash topside for a Drake. Team Wales are taking that all day long.
Yeah, that's definitely a trait that you can definitely live with. Nagia having to win this flash for that one. And yeah, just Killer Queen. We have this early Ocean Wake. I mean, Ocean Soul in general is one of the most hated souls, but an early Ocean Wake means so much for the laning phase. Just means that you can just sustain up back from bad trades all that much. And if you are in the winning lane, you just win this lane even harder. I mean, we have seen this mid lane matchup, right? With Glory just smacking DR1, abusing this range against melee matchup. Silas not really finding kill angles in the all-in. He's going the Word of Ages Silas build, so he has even less kill pressure. And he's already 2 waves ahead of DR1. This will not be easier for DR1 in the next few minutes. And also the Talia wall, not really an ultimate that Silas can really steal for this 1-for-1. And this is not looking very much good for the side of SBTC. And we might slowly but surely head towards a game 3.
Killer Queen stepping in. Hello, Enpa. That's a large chunk of damage. Although Killer Queen still only level 5, does not have the cease and desist, cannot threaten kill pressure. Will send Empa back under his turret with a couple of bumps and bruises, but not too much else to speak of.
Yeah. And as we see that, not really much happening. Minina, of course, something that you can punish in general, but he's still, with the backup being there, not to be taken down. So the game kind of being in a slowing down state, where it will just be around the Herald that will spawn in like 20 seconds. And this might just be something the Team Wales also has the upper hand on, as Nagia very much controls this topside matchup very, very well. And it's just 2 winning lanes for the side of Team Wales pretty clearly here. Only Vid really struggling a little bit against Slater, but even he not really struggling all too much in the bigger picture. So right now Team Wales might just
Killer Queen, gotta watch out! Out comes the stolen, hijacked ultimate. Killer Queen, still only level 5, does not have his own ultimate. Thankfully, mercifully perhaps, G1 does not have any AP picked up just yet. Just got the Ruby and Sapphire crystals towards the Catalyst of Eons, and will allow Killer Queen to get away. DNK, however, is going to start off the Herald.
Yeah, this might just let him the Herald, so that's very good play by the side, come out from the side of the DR1 here. Just stealing the cease and desist, instantly collapsing onto Killer Queen, and this was Silas without any AP, but he still almost took him down there, so very luckily Killer Queen could escape. Has to use his flash even, and that's the first big W on the side of SBTC in this game, and we just gotta remind you, our viewers here with that one. SBTC wins this game, they will make the upset perfect and just get a 2-0 against Team Wales, equalizing the head-to-head and also equalizing them in the overall match score. That would be such a huge win for them, especially these close games you have to win if you are in the race against Saigon Buffalo, against Flash, against Secret for this last playoff spot.
Absolutely. Things looking pretty decent for Team Wales right now. Only a slight gold advantage, but obviously holding that first Drake. And then again, you have the potential gold, as it were, for SBTC Esports with the Rift Herald in inventory for DNK. Closing up to the 10-minute mark, things pretty chill across the map right now. Minute and a half thereabouts, at least, until the next Drake comes up. Enpa does have his TP available. Nagia does not. That might be something worth noting, worth continuing to track as that one comes up.
Yeah, that one coming up for sure, as mid lane push just now gets answered by DR1. He's still down very, very far against Glory, but we see what the Silas can do in general in those team fights. Rift Herald being something that SE definitely wants to use in his next few minutes, as it expiring would be very, very much of a waste, and there's all the plating money still available for them, a lot of standing gold in general. And Emperor now kind of stabilizing a little bit against his Jax right now, still down a bit, but with the steel caps, with the Doran's shield, with the Ruby Crystal starting off this Trinity Force, he can at least take in a bit of a punch from this Jax without falling down and kite him out in the longer run of these skirmishes, if there happen to be some. So right now not really much happening. Nagia still very, very confident in this matchup, however.
He does not want to let Enpa step up to the wave at all. Will leap right forwards, gets dodged away, But yeah, that alone tells you how this matchup is going. The fact that Emperor is still holding on decently well in terms of CS, still about 20 down, but for the time being, this is just not a situation that Nar can really live in.
Yeah. Looking more rough than it actually should be. I mean, this is a matchup that at least in lane should be dominated by the Gnar to some extent. Jax, however, is a counter pick against him in general, as he just gets to scale better than him, usually just losing the lane gracefully and then just powering up to beat this late game madness that can't be answered in the side lane. But Nagia being so strong already this early is definitely something that SBTC needs to worry about. Here in the bottom we see Vid, he's kind of alone, might just get collapsed on by Palette if he steps up too far forward, but Vid is kind of smelling it. I mean, especially with the ward being there, he easily just knows Palette is around the corner, so he has no business stepping up for that one. As the Drake is now spawned, however, and this might just be something that both teams have very huge interest in.
Right now, it's SE who have the advantage getting in. We already see that DNK and Palette are here towards the bot side. That doesn't mean that Team Wales are going to give this one straight up. Killer Queen with B is looking to get in. Glory will be coming up as well. Looking to set up for a 4v4. Remember, though, that the TP from Emperor is up. Nagia's has actually come up, so if they do want to hard commit, never mind. Palette going forwards, they find the catch, they find the takedown onto Killer Queen. However, Vit going to trade it back. Tier 1 is going to have to flash over the wall to get out of this one. B is on the chase with the stuns, with the damage. Out comes the wall from Glory, but the escape comes out as well. Never mind, Tier 1 is chased by all of the flashes, all the King's horses, all the King's men. From the side of Team Wales, he will get taken down. They will disappear, melt away from this situation, though. Killer Queen down. They didn't know that DNK had taken the reset. They didn't want to risk it getting stolen.
Yeah, absolutely. And if both junglers falling down, it just means nobody gets to take the Drake at all. As just now we see DNK dropping the Swift Turtle, as we see the fight again in the replay. Palette here starting the engage together with DNK Cyclone, instantly deleting Killer Queen, but the re-engage is ready for the side of Team Wales, with Vid finding good damage on DR1, forcing Splash out. B also just keeps chasing him. Reaver's wall to cut him out. DR1 tries to escape towards his Drake pit, but the whole team is ready. Glory even flashing into the pit to just seismic shove him into his own minefield, which ultimately leads to the 2-for-1 trade up by the side of Team Wales. Nobody picking up the Drake, and the Swift Herald push is now guided. Will take up some plating money, at least right now. Should be 2 plates for the team of SE, but that's what I kind of think it's funny here. They should have, in my opinion, used this as a distraction while the Drake is being contested, and then force Team Wales to decide. Either answer the Rift Herald push or contest the Drake. You usually can't do both.
Definitely. And the fact they didn't do that did lead to the Drake ended up being, well, still on the Rift right now. We see DNK is still looking towards it, but B is in the river roaming, searching, keeping an eye out. It looks like the priority will be turning in favor of Team Wales towards the river right now. Actually, never mind. Resets from the bot lane will mean that nobody has control over the bot side right now, and SE will be the ones looking to get in, clear the newly placed vision from Team Wales. It's the standard vision dance. Somebody goes in, puts down wards, somebody else goes in, takes those wards out, puts down wards of their own, and so the dance continues.
And we see in the top right of the overlay, that's actually a third plating lead for the side of Team Wales, which is of course a result of what we just now saw on the top lane. Nagia dropping the demolish, but he just straight up kills him on the turret. This is so huge. The whole wave also being down is a disaster for SE. This shouldn't happen, this can't happen. And Nagia breaks open the game by himself basically with that alone.
Solo Bolo in the top lane. Massive advantage, as you say, for Nagia. SE will be able to take the Drake in trade towards the top side of the map. But yeah, Gnar not feeling too good about his current place in the game. 0-2, 20 CS down, and we're going to see this as it happens in the top lane.
Yeah, Counter-Strike, Leap Strike combination working well, so Emperor can't really dodge the stun, and then Nagia just bonks. I mean, he just does so much damage and takes so much damage while Grandmaster at Arms is yet used. Just gets so many resistances by casting that ultimate, and ultimately just doesn't get taken down by Emperor. The return damage not being too high, and he was already on the Divine Thunderer while Emperor was struggling on components. So Nagia definitely having his number right there, and the Herald also just now taken by the side of Team Wales as they focus themselves towards the top side of the map, playing towards their strength. They sacrificed one Drake for this one and also a good chip on this bot lane turret. So ultimately, they should be in the race for taking the turret on their side. But
I think
SE might just win this. Yes.
They've sent people towards the top side of the map. They will be able to get this. However, it looks like Team Wales are trying to commit to getting 2 towers out of this because, of course, Nagia has been left alone towards the top side. We'll pick up that one. And Shelly will secure the mid lane tier 1 turret as well. We'll also get a charge onto the tier 2, which, of course, means that opens up the map nicely for Team Wales and adds another point of pressure that if they win a fight, they can easily just push a wave in, take that one down as well.
Yeah, I think there is an oversight by the side of Team Wales that they just don't get first turret over there. I mean, they had this hard-winning top lane matchup. They already sacrificed this one Drake to have more pressure on the top side of the map, and they still don't get the first turret. That's kind of something that shouldn't happen in the bigger picture. Either way, still a good game for them overall. Getting this mid lane outer turret, a lot of map control game, but that also a charge into the second turret for good measure, just to make sure if you win the skirmish, you could easily pick that one up as well. And of course, Nagia with his top lane dominance coming out, taking up this turret as well. So all these small leads really creeping up for the side of Team Wales, and them being a very comfortable position at the point where SBTC Esports usually would be very strong, right? I mean, usually you have this Trinity Force, Megana being there in the team fight, the Jax not really being in a position to group up. If the game is in the state it is right now, SE just can't do that, and their strong 5v5 competition is not really online.
No, it's perhaps going to take a little while for that to happen because Emperor still so far behind, still has not picked up that Trinity Force completion. DNK currently lurking towards the bot side, perhaps expects Nagia to over-aggress to try and take Emperor down again. Looking for the damage, will be able to just leap strike out. Killer Queen and B are currently playing bodyguard. Make sure that their Jax cannot get jumped on. Do not want to give away that bounty. Come up with 17.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes for Baron. About 2 minutes for the next Drake to come out onto the field. And right now, it is just a case of Team Wales pushing in waves. SE trying to catch him. In theory,
Megana still going. If the Megana turns down and the wave is still there, Emperor might just be, instead of being dove here, but he can pin up the wave quite well. And this top lane gap is just so enormous, right? I mean, you just see it's completed Mythic plus the Kindle Gem plus the Goblins Warhammer, and there's still no drivers on the side of Emperor, so it must just be like 2,000 gold. Like the whole gold is basically on Nagia, maybe even more than that one, and the other part of the map actually being in a small deficit for the side of Team Wales. But they can just now grab this last outer turret of the map, just surmounting even more of a gold lead for themselves and also map control lead for these next Drakes. The next one spawning in a bit more than a minute, and this will probably be something that Team Wales has their eyes already set on. Baron would also spawn in 90 seconds, but with these compositions, not something that any of those teams will really focus early on.
Well, let's not forget, though, this is not too far removed from what we saw in game number 1, in terms of gold at least. They had an advantage. They were pushing the advantage. They were building it up quite nicely. And then a couple of small missteps allowed SE back in. We're looking at Team Wales this time. Not to make those same mistakes. We talked about it in the post-game. A couple of small mistakes cost them that. If they don't make them again, we see Vit 2-0, currently huge. Nagia already scaled far further than you would expect, or perhaps more to point than SE would like at this point in the game. We're nearly at the 20-minute mark. He's nearly at 2 items. That is a potentially very dangerous situation. Speaking of a dangerous situation, Glory finds himself caught in the top lane. Flashes out, tries to survive. DNK will pick that one up. Nagia is feeling himself. He's got a completed Spear of Shojin as well. And DNK is not escaping this one. It will be traded back 1-for-1. Jungler down for SE as well. The dive was executed very nicely, though.
It did, but Glory also, while using his flash, just bought a lot of time. It was enough just for Nagia to really join this on with his TP and with his flash, and just, you just said it, right? Here's the Spear of Shojin. No cooldowns basically on the champion.
Double TP onto the mid lane here. It is a huge flank. Vit is the target, is able to dodge away though. Killer Queen looking for the angle in. He and B are going to be able to take so much damage. Nagia is coming to join the fray. He picks up another one. Down drops tier 1. SE tried to pull the trigger on the mid lane, but it is they who are the ones who find themselves down. Glory will TP in. Team Wales will look to secure this Baron. DNK is here towards the top side, but I don't think there is anything he can do to
Hex
stop
gates?
this one from coming through.
Hex gates?
Going through the Hex Gates, the flash was there. Was not able to pick that one up. Killer Queen secures it. DNK now on the run through the wrong side of the map. There is no cease and desist. So it looks like DNK may be able to get out of this one. Glory also looking for him. DNK, it's mission impossible for him. He will eventually drop. I think it will be handed over to Glory. However, across the map, SE were able to trade this otherwise awful situation for a dragon.
And they actually did it from this point on, weil it was double TP, full committed by the side of SBTC Esports, but it was just beautifully kited up by the side of Team Wales, also to highlight bit here, with the good usage of Featherstorm and Galeforce to buy enough space for himself, and then just Nagia just joining the fray and just rewarding himself with another kill that his team really worked on. And with that, DNK being down from the dive that happened earlier, now DR1 being down, just meant that they can start off the Baron. The Hex Gates making it eerily close for the side of SE to almost join this one. But SE, they kind of don't know how to make losing plays correctly, right? They just don't scrap their losses and just accept that this play is lost. DNK going for this seal and also just ultimately falling down for this one cost them greatly. They got a little consolation points in this hex tech wake because it was just something that Slater could solo out while the Baron was being taken. But at the end of the day, this just being maybe the neck breaker for the side of SE and Team Wales stampeding over them. With this Baron push now being strong, they are 5,000 gold up all of a sudden. Nagia even stronger than he was before. And this will be very hard to defend outside of SE, maybe will be impossible to defend.
And they're already knocking on the doors of the base. The inhibitor turret will drop. They're trying to all in Nagia here. He is so difficult to kill, though. Still has a stopwatch as well, buying so much time. He's going to try and survive long enough. It does get shut down. That's picked up by DNK. However, he will drop. Killer Queen gets traded out. That's eventual 2-for-1. SE do pull the trigger well. However, they do lose their bot side inhibitor turret for it. That is something that Team Wales can come a-knocking when they respawn back onto the map.
That was a small win for SE actually, defending this Baron push-up and getting a 2-for-1 in, with catching Nagia there. He buys surprisingly much amount of time with the counter-strike into stopwatch combination I addressed earlier on, even from draft on Nagia. I mean, why are you this aggressive? I mean, actually, like, I get this as I'm a top lane main myself. You either just commit fully or not at all. And he was like seeing Slater alone, was like, I just kill him, get out, and then I'm the MVP of the match. But he just doesn't have to go for this one, right? His whole team was pushing on the bot lane, even getting the inhibitor turret there, which is something that is already enough of a win. You don't have to go for this play. So, especially in competitive play, just don't go for it. When in solo queue, I understand it completely, but this was just him like with his killer instinct kicking in, trying to kill the Kaiser over there. But that ultimately just him baiting himself into the 1v3 and costing his team, I wouldn't say greatly because it was a 2-for-1. It's not good, but not the end of the world, but still very unnecessary for him, and we need to criticize him for this one in general.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The a little bit of the old hubris creeping in. Yeah, you are big. Yes, you are powerful, but if you can't get that kill and then get out before help arrives, then you are going to end up getting taken down. You are not playing your usual tanks. While the engage attempts to come through, Weaver's Wall. The Weaver's Wall will deny SE from being able to effectively defend this tower, so it will end up getting taken down. That is the last piece of standing gold on the map for the side of SE. I'm still looking to see Team Wales really punish towards the bot side. They still got an open inhibitor. It's 24 minutes. Sure, you could potentially say that taking the bot lane inhibitor is a bad thing for wave management, but Baron's coming up in 2 minutes. You want to knock that down, make sure somebody has to be bot lane to catch the waves, and then you are automatically numbers advantaged, or rather will have to force a TP if you start up the Baron.
And it's so easy for Team Wales to just spread out the map, right? I mean, they have a fat split push on their side. Nagia is level 15 compared to, what is it? This is the level 13 on the side of, I don't quite see the level right now, but it must be like level 13, level 14 for the side of Enfer. Hopefully it doesn't want to show us either way. Yeah, I mean,
the Team Wales damage is considerably up in gold.
Yeah, a level lead, and also like he's on 2.5 items, almost going for the Zonias right now, and you can just easily 1v1 anyone on the side of SE. So you can just go to the side lane with the CP available, just force the reaction of SE, multiple members going towards the Jax, and they then maybe kill the Jax but lose the Baron or the Drake or whatever they are really going for on the other side of the map. Or even better, Nagia just TPs to the team, fights a good team fight with the Spear of Trojan Jacks really being strong right there, and they can just easily wipe SE off the map with that one, and maybe even end the game with a single push.
None. None. DNK and Pallet looking. A little bit of a Jaws moment, I was thinking, but Nagia is able to step away from that one, smells the blood in the water, and will depart. With the NK towards the top side, that does mean Team Wales will be able to claim their second Drake of the game. So Baron, or Soul rather, not really going to be... Depends on how long the game goes, but Soul may end up not being a huge concern, especially if Team Wales can really break and open the game by taking the Baron in 30 seconds.
I was surprised that actually just a second Drake for the side of Team Wales, as they have so much map control in general. But either way, SE getting kind of lucky in the Drake department.
Yeah.
But just now we got a bit of a appetizer on what Team Wales really wants to do. Here we saw Nagia top lane and the team going bot side for this Drake. In about a few seconds, we will see Nagia going bot lane, the rest of the team positioning around net, and they will just rinse and repeat the same pattern we just now saw. That's basically split push 1-on-1 being shown in this League of Legends game right now, as now Nagia can push on this side. They need more than one member to stop him over there, so Team Wales will probably just buy enough time for itself. There, Nagia now hitting level 16 as well, so Grandmaster at Arms being another strong level right now. More resistances if he just presses that R button, and also more passive damage on every third hit he really does. And the zone is completed, so he can buy a lot of time and has a stopwatch ready every 2 minutes or so for all these plays, and can just do so much, even if he would happen to team fight. As now he's also kind of getting tanky for these situations, and he's walking just by feet towards this Baron objective, which is something he could also do, right? He just take down the whole enemy jungle, nullify that lead that DNK build up over Killer Queen, and just him creating so much pressure on the map. So such a delight to see.
A big fan of how SE were choosing to respond to it, though. They was like, all right, well, we know Nagia's towards the bot side. We do have to send someone to deal with him, but not quite yet. He's just pushing in the wave. So we're going to go into the river as 5. We're going to clear out your vision. We're going to put down vision of our own, and you can't really contest us in that 4v5 scenario. So we are safe in making that play. Then we'll send Emperor back to deal with the wave.
Yeah, definitely. Then not showing too much respect for Nagia is also a very important part of them, and also like maybe their way to get back into the game. If Nagia is not the team and they actually fight a good 5v4 collapse, it could work out, right? But the TP,
Emperor's on the right. There's the TP.
Very preemptive blow.
Watch out for Emperor's TP coming in, though. Weaver's wall's already been burnt. Never mind! The Baron has already been taken. The engage comes through, and SE are split so far apart. Killer Queen, however, is the first one to go down. It's SE who are finding the fight angle. Nagia able to go in, but has to go golden. The rest of Team Wales are playing this so split, but it's working out. Nagia is too huge. Slater trying to do the damage that he can. Vit going forwards, looking for the damage. Meanwhile, Deer 1 steals the Featherstorm. Is going to be able to get out. It's eventual 2 for 2, and the Baron will be claimed for Team Wolves, but that was on a knife's edge for both sides.
I was getting a little bit worried for Team Wales as the front to back not really working out that easily for them. As here we see again the replay how it will play out. Emperor very early on this TP, Weaver's wall to dissuade any follow-up onto the Baron itself, so the Baron can be taken out quite swiftly by the side of Team Wales, but the fight itself not really working out too greatly. The backline dive going out quite swiftly there, and the Vi instantly getting blown up. Double kill coming out by Nagia, however, and here we see Bit having this little standoff against Slater, using the Featherstorm to deny some of the auto-attack damage creeping in, and at the end of the day, with all the HP bars being low, nobody really wants to go for this fight anymore, so it ends up being a 2 for 2, with Baron being on Team Wales' side. I think they can live happily with that, but SE just now shown that they also still have team fighting within their reach, and Slater is very, very scary on this Kaiser.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are still here to play. However, Baron did manage to survive on Nagia, which is something to worry about. Your big split pusher still has Baron buff, still has the empowered waves, which means they absolutely categorically require someone to be in the bot side. Otherwise, they'll be giving up that inhibitor.
Absolutely. And this should just be such an enormous control of the game with this Baron buff now being on them. I also think Nagia didn't die, so he must have the Baron buff on him. And
yes,
on the split pusher itself, it's just so much more scary than it already was beforehand. It's just to let them the control to go for this inhibitor in the bot lane. It's already exposed. Or just get them the next wave, which would be sole point for them. Just in general, a bit more standing goal for them to get onto this map. And You could also maybe just set up 5v5 them, 17,000 gold up almost on them. Should be something that could work out. I mean, the Baron combat's not really something to write home about, but it's still better than nothing. Just a nice to have damage on top with an AD and AP really coming in, and you making good use of that with the Jax especially. So now, Wales probably just going for Nagia in one lane and the rest of the team in the others, but they might just also just go for the 5v5.
They're just going to commit towards the, full 5 stack towards the bottom side, get that inhibitor down. Nagia is too tanky to really take down, and they can step away from this. Shirelius was burnt by Pallet there. Not going to end up meaning much. And Team Wales will be able to step away. They're still building up their lead. 6.5k currently their advantage, and so much map control right now. I mean, we see it. There is the dragon being taken. They are 7 towers to 2. Rather, the mid lane in outer turret is still up for the side of Team Wales. And
7 to extra 2 would be a bit too scary. I think they would have Soul and
7 towers.
Fialas.
7 towers.
Yeah.
If it was 7 Drakes, I would be questioning why the game was still going.
Yeah, exactly. And what I also found scary right now was how much chunked Palette was by the Blade Caller from Vid. I mean, that just goes to show how angry Zaya really gets when she sees Rakan with another girl in the bot lane. And often avoid quick ways just being very, very strong.
She does strike me as the jealous type.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
And that just now means soul point for the side of Team Wales, getting this Hextech Wake onto the map. And the Baron, is it expired right now? I think it is, because it's not in the overlay anymore.
Yeah.
So the Baron is expired, but they still dealt the damage they really needed to do, right? Not one more Drake, the inhibitor now being down, and they can just easily pressure this top side of the map. Maybe even with Jax in the bot lane to just threaten to end the game and just being another super minion next to the actual super minion to really threaten a lot of structure damage. But of course, you would then need to fight around this Nexus turret itself, so they just use super minion in the bot lane, Nagia in the mid lane, and the 4-man squad in the top lane to pressure on all sides.
If they can sync up the waves properly, then it's going to be basically impossible for SE to deal with this. You can see they're stacking towards sort of between top and mid lane, try and catch the waves as best they can. Glory will use the Weaver's Wall, make it very difficult for SE to come over and fight them. They get a bit of damage down onto the inhibitor turret, but the wave clear right now is pretty good.
Yeah, wave clear, definitely decent, and SE holding on surprisingly well for now, but you just know what's the topic at hand, right? It's the wave syncing coming out for the side of Team Wales, or the lack of wave syncing right now, as they can't really get to do much damage right now to the structures. With this wave, maybe they just boot forward 5v5, and I hate this actually. You have such a strong split pusher, use him to actually split push. The Jax is very, very strong, but not a very, very strong 5v5 champion, and here we see it. He just watches as his team gets wave cleared on, and this is just them wasting a bit of time.
Yeah, if Nagia was mid lane right now, that wave would be shoving in. Right now, it's Glory who's having to go mid to set that to pushing forwards. Nagia here with Vit trying to push the wave in, and as you rightly say, collapse. Now SE are the ones looking for the fight. They collapse. Nagia is the one taking a good chunk of the damage. The eventual chase down will result in the death of Vit. Nagia trying to get away, jumps away. The leap strike will not save him. The stolen cease and desist force him to go golden. He will get destroyed, shut down, and the gold goes across to Slater.
And Slater, the one player you don't want to have the shutdown on. I mean, we had the same situation in the first game, right? With Killer Queen back then, giving you shutdown to Slater. Now it's Nagia in the second game. It's also a very unfortunate timing with the death timers coming out. Baron spawns in a bit more than 10 seconds. And yeah, both Vit and Nagia will be down. Nagia would have TP when he respawns, but he won't respawn in time at all. And here we see it, right?
Look at him.
Recall already coming out by Leona. It's just 2 people being there. And yeah, Emperor with the double hop as Medina still. Now he turns Mega. Can just Mega both of them. So beautifully done. Featherstorm to try to avoid the inevitable, but it was inevitable at the end of the day. 1,000 gold into Slater. This will be Baron. And yeah, Slater's now ultra fat in this game. And with this also being a bounty, as are right back into the game. I mean, right now they should be favored, but 2k gold is absolutely nothing. And they are not playing against the Soul. It's just some individual Drakes. That means a little bit, but not too much. The Baron alone should probably mean more. And they also got to farm some super minion XP and gold. And this will be very hard for Team Wales. And this might just cost them the chance to equalize the series even. And it can mean very much in the bigger picture, but if SE2 0 this year, they equalize the head-to-head, they equalize the match score of them, and also contest Team Wales for the spot number 3.
Absolutely. Just a minute 15 seconds until the Drake comes up. That's a little bit of time for SE to catch waves, maybe find an extra item pickup. And of course, they have the Baron empowered extra stats going into this fight as well. As long as they don't get picked, they don't get found, as they are trying to clear out vision or anything like that, they will have a considerable advantage beyond what the gold numbers may say. And Slater, it is all on this Kai'Sa right now. 304, 412 CS right now. Absolutely immensely fed. Baron empowered minions will mean that outer turret, that final outer turret for Team Wales will eventually be taken down. Then now, with the Baron empowered recalls, can take a quick reset, can look to set themselves up. We already see Dia1 in the bot lane shoving all the way out. The inhibitor has respawned. The map state has reset. Nagia may want to look for the 1v1 onto Emperor, but Isnar is more than able to keep it at arm's length now.
It absolutely is, and up until a few seconds before they took the mid lane outer to it, there were actually still objective bounties up on the side of the SBTC Esports, so they had Baron and they were still about to collect the bounty over there.
They've evened it all the way up.
Yeah, the gold is back to even right now, and it was still a bounty even a few seconds beforehand, and with that, SE now in a very good situation, get this Drake
Zero
as
contest.
well. So yeah, it's both teams being on soul point right now, and Slater is full build, while Vid is a whole full item. No, actually it's full build as well right now, as he got to shop right now. So both ADCs are maxed out on everything right now. Silas also a champion that definitely doesn't hate the late game. And the Vi not really finding any impact outside of Killer Queen, right? He's 0-3. He basically just got relegated to be a knockup bot for the cease and desist at the ball breaker. And the Wukong is still very much thriving. Yeah, I mean, Wukong is also not like the late game king or anything, don't get me wrong, but he still has like these 2 instances of this AoE damaging knockup thing, and that alone is just so much value still in this team fight.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily need to be that hyper carry. That saying, DNK not doing too badly for himself. 5, 4, and 4 is a little bit up on the CS2 Killer Queen. Is just gonna hurt a lot more than the Vi is in these team fights right now. SE making use of the last few seconds of their Baron to shove in a wave mid lane. Nagia is going to be spotted out by Emperor here. It does look like Dia1 is also looking to try and show up towards the bottom side as well, get that shove in, playing across these 2 waves, try and open up the map a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. However, I think this Baron was more just a stabilizer Baron for the side of SE. I don't think it was
the engage coming forwards. Out comes the Shirelias, the going golden from Nagia will keep him alive for a little bit longer. The tower is dropping. They're continuing to look for the play. Dia1 also goes golden. Killer Queen goes golden. Everybody's going golden. Everyone's trying to get out. Pallet goes a little bit too far forwards. Will get taken down, but Slater is able to find the snipe onto Glory. The Featherstorm coming out from Vit is going to do a lot of damage. DNK is able to get himself out. No cease and desist for Killer Queen means that SE will be able to get themselves away from this. Eventually is a 2-for-1, sorry, in favor of SE. They get down that the inner turret as well. We're still looking forward. Slater still shoving in these waves, still getting bigger and bigger. I mean, can you get any bigger? Do you even need to swap out any of these items? Is there perhaps a potential late game item trade? Drop the boots maybe, since you've got that mobility with Kai'Sa?
Did he get an elixir yet? Maybe can at least max out on this one. Either way. Maybe boots for Phantom Dancer or something, just to have a bit more damage.
So we will see this again.
Yeah, we see it again. Weaver's Wall and the dive in general just being something that doesn't really seem to be something that SE has to force, but they actually proved me wrong in this instance and just managed to play a good fight with Pallet just having a very good backline dive. He ultimately falls, but at a very high price, with Nagia falling, also Slater sniping, Glory with the Void Seeker being very clutch in this regard, and just making the 2-for-1 very favorable trade as you only drop the support for this one. So SE now with a marginal gold lead. I mean, basically it's absolutely nothing with the way there's so much gold in this game right now, and also both teams are on multiple Drakes, and we already addressed the point of the ADCs being maxed out. Maybe we see Slater selling his boots for another item if he actually gets so much gold.
He did get a Bloodthirster. I would love to see the scoreboard and see what he traded for that, because I don't think he needs boots at this point in the game.
He usually just uses his supercharged Killer Instinct to move around and just the base movement speed. And yeah, he should have Bloodthirster, Navori, Krakenslayer. Oh, what other items does Kai'Sa have?
There's the Guardian Angel as well.
Guardian Angel, of course. Yeah, you see the
there's the
engage.
engage. They're trying to find the damage onto B. Very tanky, this Leona. Is going to go golden. Killer Queen jumping onto Slater, trying to keep him in place. Is going to force out the GA. However, GA1 is able to take down B. Slater comes back up, is still alive. Meanwhile, GA1, DNK, Emperor playing for space, trying to keep Slater safe. Nagia comes forward, goes golden. They're trying to find the chase down. It is a 1-for-1 right now, but it's mid laner for support. SE are going to have to get out of this one. Baron is just about to spawn. We need... It looks like they are going to say, SE, push in mid lane, then look to contest the Baron. The Team Wales have sent Nagia back. He does have a teleport available, though. We're looking for the angle. There is the TP coming forwards. Baron will be secured for Team Wales as well. SE are going to have to flee from this one. And on the clock ticks. 30 seconds until the next Drake spawns onto the map. It will be Soul for whichever team claims it. This is a game of... This game is on a knife edge.
It absolutely is a game of inches right there, and this one was Slater getting a little bit overzealous. You'll probably see it in the replay again with him losing his GA very early on, and I mean, Vid might not be the best AD in the league, but he's still a better AD carry than another AD carry who's just stuck in the stasis situation. As here we see it again, Voidseeker coming out, Killer Instinct as a follow-up to just chug out B. This one was fine however, but now Slater goes on very, very deeply, and no one on this team to really back him up, so he can just easily get collapsed on by the side of Team Wales, and Deer 1 kills B, but ultimately is the one to drop himself, as we see in the picture. Hextech Soul now proclaimed by the side of Team Wales, as well as the Baron earlier on. We saw Nagia recalling and just TPing back in for some additional pressure for this one. So it will just be Hextech Soul for them, and it was ultimately their game to throw. They arguably did throw the game with their
second chance
in such a song. Yeah, that's the second chance for them, and unlike the Baron, this Hextech Soul will be forever.
Absolutely, and now they've got another minute and 40 seconds to shove in waves, to take down inhibitors, to close out the game perhaps, because if it does time out, if SE can persist in this game, then we may be looking towards an Elder. DNK does get caught, able to get out with the Warrior Trickster though. Team Wales pushing in, will be able to take down the mid lane inhibitor. Bot inhibitor, of course, is open as well, so second will be claimed. This is going to be a period of 3 to 4 minutes where SE are forced to stay in their base, deal with these super minion waves, otherwise they will crash in. Could mean that they are forced to a game number 3.
Yeah, that's good, absolutely be the case, and just now it's very scary how quickly they just melted this turret. Also, these hex gates, right? They could be used for off-flank. I mean, I've seen the same in the LCS playoffs yesterday with Flycrash.
DNK is looking for it.
I catch it as the exact same spot.
They're still trying for the chase. Pallet, DNK going forwards. Emperor, Slater, Deer 1 also looking to come in. Nagia is going golden. Killer Queen is going to be left out to dry. SE pounce. They will find the angle. Nagia is not able to find anybody. Slater will take that one down. And another overstay towards the bottom side of the map costs Team Wales dear.
How and why are they in this position to begin with? Right? I mean, it's just easy to just get these both inhibitors. You have Baron, you have Hextech Soul, you just couldn't be collapsed on. Just walk out as a unit, and SE won't do anything to you. But here, they just find the flank angle, get Nagia down, Killer Queen also buying a lot of space for him, and almost going down himself in this play. It is just an unnecessary pick by the side of SE that was possible there, and Wales playing it sloppily with the lead, ready to be punished, and them just now wasting a lot of time with the Baron buff. It should have been expired by now. They get the inhibitors anyway. It probably won't be that big of a deal, but there's just one small comeback chance to the side of SE, one small room to breathe, air to breathe for them, and this just gives them a bit of time to maybe go for something themselves. However, Nagia will spawn in a few seconds, so ultimately it doesn't mean too much for them. They can probably take down this up lane inner turret, which ultimately doesn't mean too much for them. But this is just something that shows the sloppiness of Team Wales and why they might just drop the series right here.
I was looking at the teleports right now, but there are no deep wards, no backdoor opportunities. The final piece of standing gold on the map for the side of Team Wales will get knocked down. And SE still have the gold lead. Despite conceding a Baron, SE, they claim back the gold lead after being able to punish Nagia, after this period of Team Wales being unable to step out onto the map because one of their main carries was dead. It means that SE are actually fine. They're alright. 2 minutes until Baron comes up. 2 minutes 40 until Elder comes up. It's
Yeah,
not that hard.
Easy turtling for them to just get more gold and XP from these super minions. Also, like, Dia wants the full item to completion, could make good use of that. Also, I gotta say, Enpo, who had a very rough early game, can make some use of that. He's not really a late game champion of the Na in general, but just getting more items under his belt is something that he can definitely use to make this top lane gap a bit more surmountable this game. As Team Wave just now go for another push, but with the wave clear available for the side of SE, it should be easily defendable.
It is indeed easily defendable. We see Slater coming out of base once again with the Guardian Angel available. Was kind of the overstep from Slater that allowed Team Wales that second chance of dominance in this game. They are still shoving. They still have the Hextech Soul upon all of their members, of course. And now they are trying to shove in, trying to make sure SE cannot leave their base ahead of the Baron coming up in 50 seconds.
Why is Nagia with the group? I don't understand. Either way, here's another collapse, or maybe just zoning off to get this turret guaranteed. They will get it at least.
Yeah, they will be able to take that one down. The inhibitor itself will not fall. Enpa is mega right now, looking for an angle to go forwards. DNK may have overstepped, though. There is the catch, the damage coming forwards. Killer Queen also going golden. The fight is starting up. DNK is able to get out. Killer Queen goes down. Nagia dropping low. They're trying to find the angle forwards. Pallet also dropping super low. It is the battle of the tiniest fractions of pixels of health bars. SE will be able to get the kill on Killer Queen, and that means Team Wales cannot fall back for a Baron take here. They cannot risk DNK coming in and stealing it.
Yeah, maybe they just go for it anyway, because there's so much base pressure. I mean, the super minions are creeping in. They are the TP. Here is the TP.
Emper all the way in the top lane right now. SE are rushing to try and contest. They are able to take it down. Now it's a case, can Team Wales make it out? Diawon looking for the angle in, looking for a hijack onto something. Slater still looking. Looks like Team Wales have made it out just a little bit, just a tiny bit too slow on the response from SE. If they can slow the backs, however, it does mean that SE could look for the Elder. DNK died?
DNK died all of a sudden while chasing someone, and this.
Oh, he was trying to stop Vit backing. He was trying to stop Vit backing. He gives over his life.
Oh, the death trap coming out.
SE can't take Elder now.
Yeah, they can't take Elder now. Similarly to how we thought that Team Wales couldn't do Baron, but they were just in time. Maybe they catch Killer Queen.
If they can take it down, that gives them just a moment. Killer Queen will indeed get caught, but can they get out of this situation? Slater flashes. Emper is going to have to be left to the walls. The Gnar is used to try and get away from this, but Vit will be able to take it down. Glory looking for the angle forward. Slater goes into the Guardian Angel. Pallet is going to have to turn back and watch as his AD carry is shut down, torn to shreds. Never mind, he ain't getting out either. Glory will pick that one up as well. Do you even need the Elder Drake in this situation? Team Wales barreling down the bot lane. 48 minutes. They may just take us to a game 3, Quincy.
It should be game 3 for sure. I mean, they don't even go for the Elder. It should be a freebie for them at this point of the game. But they still have the Baron there. 3-man storm against 2 on the side of SC. It actually doesn't look as one-sided as I expected it to be, but it's just one Nexus turret being there. B now also coming in with reinforcement, making it a 4 versus 2.
DNK, he's trying to make it happen, trying to delay it. There is the shutdown onto Geo1, and it's a double kill for Vit as they will close out the game. 48 minutes, the game swung back and forth and back and forth and back again, Quincy, as Team Wales take